Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this week's Ripoff of the Week. My esteemed co-host, Adam Andrzejewski, is out on assignment, and we'll be back next week for our episode. But remember our mission, every dime online in real time. That's what Open the Books is all about. This week, we're talking about third-party congressional travel. Thousands have paid for congressional trips, millions of dollars in federal grants, and hundreds of thousands of dollars in campaign contributions go along with this week's congressional travel report. You can find that at openthebooks.com. By law, our members of Congress have to specifically detail all travel-related expenses that are reimbursed by non-governmental organizations or NGOs. These are charitable contributions, essentially, in lieu of honoraria or a payment set for services. So our auditors at openthebooks.com received copies of congressional travel reports and expenses through a FOIA request, and then we've analyzed them. What did we find? Well, we paid particular attention to trips that were funded by just 5 influential nonprofits that received more than $63 million in federal funds between 2017 and 2021. We also searched for grants and contracts in the federal checkbook to see how much taxpayer money each of these nonprofits received, also between 2017 and 2021. So one of the interesting, or should I say some of our top 10 takeaways from this report include more than 500 members of Congress and their staff reported taking almost 8,200 trips that were paid for by 700 different organizations. Representatives and or their staffers also took 2,629 trips to foreign destinations and 5,563 trips to domestic locations. So the 5 nonprofits that provided these members and their staffers with 940 paid for destinations. Those 5 organizations received $63 million in federal contracts and grants. Who are these nonprofits? Well, how about the Aspen Institute? Many of us have heard of the Aspen Institute, the United Nations Foundation, the Atlantic Council of the United States, the German Marshall Fund, and the Woodrow Wilson International Center for Scholars. While this practice isn't necessarily illegal, each trip represents or presents lawmakers with a potential conflict of interest because it actually could be seen as buying influence. Each organization is globalist and tries to influence what they believe is the world order of things. Half of these trips went to 5 popular overseas destinations. Where are those? Those include, how about Brussels and France and Israel? Well, this unholy alliance between these 5 nonprofits, well, they present such a conundrum, right? These employees within these 5 organizations also spent over $500,000 giving large political contributions to various members in our Congress. Well, again, all of the transactions listed in our report are legal, but they don't necessarily make them ethical. And that is where the appearance of the conflict of interest is on every single transaction. So a simple reform could actually cure the problem of a conflict of interest. Maybe an entity receiving federal funds or subsidies should be barred from allowing or paying for congressional travel. Many of these board members and chairpersons, directors, CEOs, CFOs, key executives, and employees of these 5 organizations contributed in some cases five-figure gifts to these politicians or their political action committees. And nearly all the gifts were Democrats. Again, open the books. Our auditors, we're just looking for the facts and reporting them to you, the American taxpayer. We believe that transparency revolutionizes public policy, and we will continue to provide you vital information, feedback, and actual investigative knowledge so that you can hold your political representative accountable for all of their tax and spend decisions. We appreciate your support. And of course, we never, ever take one dime from the federal government. We are supported by the everyday taxpayer and some nonprofit organizations to continue to do the work that Congress refuses to do, that vital role of oversight on your behalf. Go to openthebooks.com. You can download this report today and read it. We'd love to hear feedback from you. You can post that here. Our producer would love to see those comments, and she's also going to support us by posting that link right there for you to grab it. Again, this has been a Thursday ripoff of the week, and we look forward to seeing you back here next Thursday with Adam and I detailing another project. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your week.